Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Karen, the Women's Midlife Specialist, and I have a set of labs that we have not taken a look at before. These are interesting because this is a 48-year-old who is premenopausal, and she does not have irregular menses. She has regular menses. There is a part on the ZRT form that allows you to say whether it's regular or not regular. If it's not regular, they'll put that in here. I can also determine that by the date that she did the results. Let's see, she did it on the 8th of February, and her last menses was January 16th. So that tells me that she did it at the right time of a regular cycle. So she's 48 years old, premenopausal, but this is all I have. This is all she sent. My computer actually had a little bit of tough time reading this as well because it's grayed out. It's not the original version. So she didn't have the original apparently. So do try to send me the original that has that blue graying. My computer was changing the typeset and everything, kind of crazy. But in any event, we did get it done. But this is all she sent me, was this one page. So I have no idea what her symptoms are, but that's okay. We're going to work just off of her lab results. Okay, so she does have a low estrogen, even though she's premenopausal and regular, and she does have a low progesterone, but her progesterone to estrogen ratio is low. Even though her estrogen's low, she's still estrogen dominant, and you have seen this before, and I've talked about this before, but it's not terrible. We've got a 79. But what I want you to remember is that what happens during this premenopausal time is that estrogen can fluctuate erratically. It can go up and down and up and down, and that can bring on hot flashes actually, and it certainly brings on problems with symptoms. But it doesn't mean that you are low in estrogen all the time, and it doesn't mean that you need estrogen. When you're premenopausal and this is your picture, it's much better to stay away from estrogen at first and see if the symptoms can be managed just by progesterone. Now, if the estrogen is fluctuating, which it is, if it's fluctuating, this 0.7 estradiol will sometimes be higher. So if that's the case, this progesterone to estrogen ratio will be lower than 79. Okay, so she does have a low estrogen and progesterone, not a terribly low progesterone to estrogen ratio at this moment. She does unfortunately have a low testosterone, and DHEA, even though it shows normal between 2 and 23 and she's 2.7, for her age it really is low. So if she had sent me the graph on DHEA, it probably would have been down below normal. Okay, cortisol seems to be okay in the morning, though again, unfortunately, I don't know her symptoms. Her body mass index is okay, and remember, she's premenopausal, and she doesn't say she's irregular, and for this particular one, we know she was regular. Okay, so what am I going to recommend? Well, because of what I just said, with premenopausal, appears to have normal periods, this is the time you want to use only progesterone. So she may be actually years from menopause. I hope that's not bad news. But in any event, why don't we want to treat estrogen? Because we don't know what this estrogen really is. It's fluctuating up and down, and the fact that she's premenopausal, certainly still cycling fairly normally, at least fairly normally. We want to see if we can get rid of symptoms and get her much better balanced with just progesterone. Okay, so now, once she treats with just progesterone, if she's still having, or I don't know if she's having it now, but if she starts having estrogen deficiency symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats, those are the two biggest ones, then she would want to consider using some estrogen like Hormone Heaven. So now my chart that I provide on the website that shows how to use, how to choose and use the right product actually doesn't even have an adequate instruction for somebody like BZ. So I'm really glad she sent this to me. It's really all experience, and there is a video that does talk about this using just progesterone when you're still cycling. So if you don't see that video, you could actually miss that. In any event, what I recommend is that we start only with Hormone Protect and that we also cycle it. So we want to cycle it on days 14 through 28 of the cycle. And if we're looking at the menstrual cycle, the progesterone really doesn't start to rise until around the midsection of our cycle. So if her symptoms are not controlled, for instance, progesterone deficiency, a big one of the most common, is difficulty sleeping. So if she has difficulty sleeping more than just the second half of her month, then she can back those days up to, say, days 5, 6, or 7, all the way through days 28. Now, I remember when I was in this time of my life. I very, very well remember it. And I will tell you that I used progesterone all month long. Now, that was me. I knew what I was doing, and really conventional medicine will tell you don't do that. But I did it. It was appropriate dosing, and it was equivalent to 2 pumps twice a day. Now, what I tell other people is give yourself at least 3 days off during the month. So if you have to back it up all the way to 3 days, say day 3 through 28 of your cycle, because you do really well on Hormone Protect all the days that you're using it, then absolutely go from days 3 to 28. Again, if symptoms start getting to where you start feeling estrogen is a problem, hot flashes, night sweats, you may want to retest again and see where you're at. Or if you're still cycling, supplement with a little bit of Hormone Heaven as well as Hormone Protect. My recommendation would be something like 1 pump twice a day of Hormone Heaven all month long, except for 3 days off during your cycle, and then Hormone Protect 1 to 2 pumps twice a day, days 3 through 28. So there's a lot of leeway in here. When you're in this premenopausal state and your hormones are fluctuating up and down, the whole key is to try to give your body some sense of balance and consistency through the month while your own body is erratically going up and down. All right, I think I have one more slide, and yes, it's to replace this DHEA. You're a little low in that. BZ. So we want to replace this so we can also help boost this testosterone. I don't know what your symptoms are, so if your energy level is low or you're feeling like maybe your muscle mass is declining or your allergies have picked up, or your immune system is a little down, this may be related to testosterone. Low sex drive is one of them, but low sex drive is also highly associated with estrogen as well. Okay, so I hope that helped you, and I will see you later. Have a great day. Give me a thumbs up, and tell me, are you in premenopausal state or perimenopausal or menopausal? All right, take care. Bye-bye.